Welcome back to the Zero Weakness podcast, where we talk about how to be a better lifter, how to be a better coach, and everything in between. Make sure you subscribe and enjoy.
Welcome back to another episode of the Zero Weakness podcast. I'm here with myself. As myself. I don't know. Yeah, it's a third person. We got Bridget, Tombro, and CJ. Thanks again for tuning in. This episode is sponsored, just like every other episode, by Establishment Coffee Co. If you want to get a discount on your coffee, head to the website, use 025 for 25% off your next order. That's 025 for 25% off your next order.
And free shipping.
Oh, and free shipping. Yeah.
Like clockwork.
Yeah, like clockwork, baby.
Zero with a W.
Yeah, zero with a W. That's the one. All right. Before we get started, what are we grateful for? CJ, what are you grateful for, brother?
What am I grateful for? I wasn't ready for this.
I'm grateful for that intro.
Yeah.
Yes. Grateful. Can we come back to me? I need to think of a...
Wow.
I don't want to say the same one. 'Cause the first thing that came to my mind was the weather.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Well, I said it last week.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm loving winter. Gold Coast winter. Gold Coast winters,
Amazing,
I reckon,
isn't it?
is the best season in the world everywhere. Gold Coast winter's the best.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Tombras.
The internet.
Ooh.
I'm grateful for the internet. It's pretty crazy. Like I'm going to the UK and to Ireland in the next couple of weeks, and just having the internet, put the feelers out there for a workshop, put out 2 workshops. Another person contacted me for a third workshop, and they're filling up. It's just crazy that, you know, people from around the world see what we do at Zero and are interested in it.
It's amazing.
So, you know, it's a lot of money. I'm going over there specifically to handle my man Dale Longford over at the Irish Pro. And it's a lot of money for these trips, you know. I do it because I like to be at my lifters' big competitions when I can. And so the workshops were actually an afterthought. It was just like, well, it's going to cost me a lot to get over there if I can recoup some funds and cover some of the trips. So I'm really grateful that I've been able to cover most of the costs through these workshops.
That's awesome. Bridget, what are you grateful for?
My new sleep schedule.
Nice.
It's only been 1 week and it's changing my life already. I used to stay up too late and sleep in, and now I'm getting up before the sunrise every day, and it's just making my whole day. What's the expression? Own the morning, own the day.
Win the morning,
Win the morning, win the day.
Yeah.
I thought it was early bird gets worms.
Gets worms.
Same.
But no, I've seen some beautiful sunrises this week, so I'm very grateful for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what time are you going to bed?
I'm going to bed. I'm getting tired around 9 o'clock now. I used to fall asleep around midnight. Now I'm going to bed at 9, and I'm getting up at about between 5:30 a.m.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it.
James Hendry.
I am grateful for, this is it's a random one, but access to healthy food, nutritious food. I'm very grateful for that. We're very spoiled for choice in Australia with food. Like, I don't know if even when you go to New Zealand, sometimes it's hard to find like it's just kind of the same shit everywhere. Well, especially in Christchurch, like there's Macca's, there's Burger King or Hungry Jack's, and all that shit. And we got so much here on the coast.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, sweet. What have we been up to? CJ, what have you been up to? Wait, am I allowed to say this? CJ's full-time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
CJ's full-time on the books now at Zero.
Yes, I am full-time for Zero as the media guy behind the camera, and barbering. So yeah, that's been fun. Getting more involved with creating content for all the gyms.
Media manager.
Not
Yes.
just the guy.
Manager.
Not just the guy behind the camera.
Yeah, I manage the media all by myself. And it's awesome. We got some cool projects coming up. I can't wait to showcase it.
What's one thing that you're thinking about that you want to bring to the team straight away? Is there anything that you like want to implement straight away?
Probably more consistent content going on social medias and spreading it throughout our other platforms like YouTube, and more variety in content. And now that I'm on full time, I can I guess spend more time and be more intentional and output like better quality of content as well. So,
are you going to make a Zero TikTok?
I don't know. I've been thinking about it.
Are you on TikTok?
I have an account, but I never check it.
Do you know what I thought CJ was going to respond with? I don't really have time, bro. Look, boss, I'll make it work. I'll see if I can fit it in.
I have an account, but I'm not on it. This is as bad as Bridget's one. I used to be.
Yeah, when I was on it.
Tom, bro,
I
what you
deleted the app. I did.
Have you ever been on TikTok?
Remember I showed you a video and you were disgusted.
What was it?
I showed you a video of me doing a TikTok dance like years ago and you're like, nah,
Okay.
that's fucking... Don't ever do that again. Me, you and Edan were cracking up laughing.
Wow, I vaguely remember it. I didn't even realize TikTok that was that old.
No, because remember I was telling you about it. I was like, yeah, bro, it's like dances like this. And then I showed you and you're like, can you not show me that?
Yeah, that would legit be the only time I've ever seen the app is when you showed me that time.
Yeah.
I've never seen it otherwise.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even know what it looks like. I see TikTok videos on Instagram all the time. But yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in.
It's a black hole
Yeah.
for a lot of people,
Yeah.
eh?
Yes. Instagram's moving in that direction.
Well, how is I was going to say, how's it more of a black hole than Instagram? Because I'm getting worse. I got really good with Instagram stuff, especially at nighttime. I'm getting worse at going down like real holes.
Yeah.
It's like Reels, but 10 times better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's,
Reels are like the boring side of TikTok. It's very controversial, some of it. Yeah, depends on what side of TikTok you land on. There's lots of different sides you can end up on.
As a
Jeez,
seasoned veteran
What's on
over
Bridget's
here.
algorithm that's coming up on her feed?
well, there's actually a lot of I've seen a lot of things lately about how TikTok allow like they're giving people with what's the word? They're giving platforms to people that shouldn't have platforms. And because they're generating profit over it, they keep feeding this stuff through the algorithms. Like there's this dude who's like a misogynistic like fucking pig and his stuff's all over the internet.
Yeah, Andrew Tate.
That's the one. Yeah. And I saw this big thing about how they've been given them a platform and they do it for so many people and yeah, it's pretty hectic. What have you been up to, Thomas?
Just working away, getting a couple of new gyms ready to go. That's
Exciting.
That's all happening. We got I posted a thing the other day about like, here's another gym with all the boxes of equipment sitting there, and people have thought that the building that all those boxes are in is going to be the gym. So people are responding in one of two ways, either like, whoa, that's gigantic, this is going to be huge, or that's actually kind of gross. 'Cause it's in a real dingy shed, but it's a storage facility. Like it's not the gym. It's just where we're keeping the equipment for the time being until we get that moving. So sorting out a couple of gyms has been eating up my time, as well as just getting ready for this European trip.
That's it. You're a busy man. Entrepreneur.
Mogul.
Yeah,
Mogul's
business
the word.
mogul.
I love that word. Mogul.
Any concept of busyness is just a projection of our own understanding of what we can fit into the same 24 hours of anyone else.
Ooh.
It's easy to look at someone and be like, because it's the thing that pisses me off the most when people message me, sorry to bother you, I know you're a busy man. No, you don't. You don't know what I'm up to. You don't know what my schedule looks like. Because in my eyes, I'm not busy. I'm not busy enough. And I look at other people and I think, fuck, they must be busy. And they probably think the same thing.
Yeah, I like that.
So don't call me busy.
Spoken like a true mogul, eh?
Just like a true mogul.
Oh man, Tom Brosey. Bridget, what have you been up to?
Not much. I finished deload week, so I'm in week 1 of another volume block. But I started swimming again last week.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a lot harder than I remember. I used to swim all through high school and primary school, but yeah, I'm loving it. I'm determined to get better. Yeah.
Are you doing it solo or do you have a coach?
No, just by myself at the moment.
So
Yeah.
I was talking to Rochelle about this the other day. When I learned how to swim again, like a couple of years ago, I went to the local pool and I'm like, hey, I want to learn how to swim. Do you guys offer any like coaches or classes or anything like that? They're like, yeah, I mean, we've got kids classes. I'm like, cool. I'm 30. So do you offer anything that would be suitable for me? And they're like, no, not really.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
is the aquatic center, so maybe they do. 'Cause-
Well, so this was a big aquatic center. And so I was talking to Rochelle because she's training to do a triathlon. And so she started swimming, and her and another person have found a swimming coach. And she was saying it's been really, really hard to find someone to do adult swimming lessons
wow,
with.
no
Yeah.
way.
I know Mary Ann from here used to get swimming coaching, but she's the kind of person that like finds the best coach on earth
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just like goes 100% with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just wondering. I just remember looking for it's a business opportunity for all of you out there. If you know how to swim, adult swimming lessons, go for it.
Yeah.
I actually just heard this on a podcast as well. They're like,
Really?
Yeah, they were talking about it being a business opportunity because someone I know on this podcast, he went to go get swimming lessons and it was like $60 an hour for group sessions. And he got to the lesson and there's 10 adults here. So this guy's making $600 a session and he's doing them twice a day, 5 days a week.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Wow, so there's a lot of demand for that.
Mm.
There's a lot of adult. Wow.
Because there's a lot of people that don't know how to swim.
Yeah.
But speaking of Rochelle swimming, I follow her. We follow each other on Strava. She's a beast in the water.
Is Strava like where you track your
Yeah.
running stuff?
Yeah, so running, swimming, biking,
Damn.
workout, like everything. Yeah, she does like 2 kilometer sessions.
Does she put her bike rides up there as well? 'Cause
Yep.
she does
Her-
like 50Ks.
Yeah,
Twice a week
60Ks,
or something?
Yeah,
Wow.
she does a lot.
Mm.
That's cool to
Michelle's
see.
amazing.
Beast.
Yeah, she's a weapon. What have I been up to? I have been just plotting away, scheming, planning. No, I'm not doing any of that.
Scheming
Yeah, I don't know.
What's your scheme?
I don't know. I've just been working, training, rinse and repeat. No, it's good. Swimming, running, lifting. Just for the people, everybody at the gym, when they see me training, they go, "Oh, Henny, you training for once?" I never stopped training. I never stopped training.
It's funny because people will come at the same time on the same days, week in, week out without fail. And so if something's different, they're like, since when did this happen? Like Josiah used to always be like, who's that? And I'd be like, bro, that guy's been a member for like 5 years. And he's like, how come I didn't know about this? Because you haven't met him.
Yeah.
You're not at the gym 24/7.
Yeah, it blew my mind the other week when I realized that one of the regular morning people didn't know one of the regular night people.
Yeah.
I was talking to him about him.
They
He was
asked
like,
who
"Who's
Rick
that?"
was.
Yeah, who's Rick? And I'm like, what?
What do you mean
Rico.
who's Rick?
What do you mean?
That's Rick.
Rick.
Yeah. Yeah. It still happens to me where I'm like, oh, who's that? Like they just signed up and you're like, no, they've been a member for so long. Yeah.
What was that Evan you were talking about?
No, it was Rick and Luke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Good.
Rick and
Because
Ricky.
Evan Pennell is currently, I think I'm right about this. Evan Pennell's currently the longest serving member.
Yeah, he's a vet.
And most people, if you said, hey, have you met Evan? They'd be like, who's Evan? Because now he used to train in the afternoons, but now he trains exclusively at like 5 in the morning.
Yeah, I don't think I've met him before.
I saw him for the first time in like 6 months when I did the barbecue the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, I see him every morning, but he's always here probably an hour before me. He gets here at like 5 o'clock, maybe just before 5. Yeah, he's a vet. But also, just something funny. So now that I'm not like powerlifting training, Raven and Jack Barnes, they say I don't train anymore. They say I work out.
He works,
What dogs
he
say?
works out to stay toned.
Yeah, such dogs.
Oh my gosh.
You don't train, you work out. I'm like, whoa.
Well, it just shows how much with that whole like not seeing each other morning night. Like Steve, he was like the other day, he was like, I haven't seen Henny in 3 months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I heard
because
him
he
say
trains at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Exactly. Trains. I was like, nah, he's here. I see him every day at work. Like he's still around.
Hey, Steve Wang, let's keep it that way, brother. I don't want to ever see you again.
Them's fighting words.
Very intentional, Steve, that you don't see.
No, I love Steve. Me and Steve's been one of my longest friends in Australia. I don't know if people know that. And the week I signed up here at Zero in like 2017 or whatever it was, that week I said to him and Bjorn, boys, I found a fucking powerlifting gym. Because they were already powerlifting, like without really knowing they were powerlifting.
Yeah.
And they're like, where? And I said, around the corner from work. And then they signed up literally the day after. Right?
Yeah, and they've been here ever since.
Yeah.
Well, Bjorn's moved to
Taiwan.
now. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's because he's not on social media.
Dang.
He's on
Yeah, how long
WeChat.
ago did he leave now?
I don't know. I'm one of his oldest friends. He didn't fucking even tell me.
He came in to say bye to you and you weren't here, and then he said he was going to come back.
Oh well.
Well,
See you soon,
flight
Bjorn.
was that
Bjorn
night.
would have just been like, yeah, just tell him I said bye.
That's literally what he would have done.
Has he moved there?
Yeah.
Yeah, his partner's from there, isn't she?
Right. Dang.
Oh, that's cool. All right, Tom, bro, have you got a grievance for
Grievance.
Have you got a grievance?
Nah, the gratitudes are
Yay.
keeping the level.
I love that. He's gone on tour, eh?
But
He can't wait to get
Revenge
away. Eh?
the revenge tour. That's it.
But-
I don't think I do off the top of my head, to be honest.
Nice. That's good.
I'm going to update what I've been up to as well. I went up to Mackay on the weekend And I love that gym. Like, it's so cool because we don't see the Brisbane people too often, or the Southside people too, like you guys don't. I see them a bit more often. But we're still kind of closely connected with them, whereas Mackay being a little bit further away, we kind of feel a little bit more disconnected. And you go up there and it's just like walking into home. Like, it's such a cool gym, such a cool community. We ran an APL comp up there. It was a little comp, but it was so much fun. It was, really, really, really good time.
That's sick. It looked like a really well-organised comp as well.
Oh, they always are. They kill it up there.
That's sick.
Yeah, they're a well-oiled machine. Dean's been running powerlifting comps for close to 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's got it down pat.
That's sick. And so where you're up to, I saw you do a post the other day about the coach development program. You're just about to take your final intake for the year.
Yeah.
Do you want to plug that?
Yeah, for sure.
Get the word out there.
For sure. So just like the gist of the post I put up is like, as Zero gets bigger and they keep opening up, I get questions all the time about people wanting to either open a Zero or work for Zero. And the post I made is not a marketing scheme. It's the reality. Like, I have a list of people who have done the coach development course who I'm like, that person's a gun, that person's a weapon. If I ever open a Zero here, I'll talk to them. You know, I've got a list of people who have demonstrated their ability to take on board the thinking, the systems, the application of those systems. I've got a list of those people. And sorry, I started getting Eminem lyrics in my head. I got a list of, here's the order of my list. Anyway, might have to clean that bit up, CJ.
No, leave it in.
No. So yeah, the best way to be considered for Zero is to do the coach development program. And outside of that, I mean, it's a good course that almost 200 coaches have done. And I've got tons of testimonials of people, you know, transforming their businesses, improving their coaching. It's something that I'm very passionate about. Jordan runs it also in the Northern Hemisphere. So if you're up that way and you're looking at getting on board, but the time difference is difficult to make the calls, Jordan is a great educator up there that runs it for me there too. So yeah, just trying to fill out that last intake. And then when we have Rochelle on Friday, we'll talk about it, but we've got a nutrition course coming out.
That's
a nutrition coaching course, and I've got a business course coming out as well. So Zero will be moving pretty hard into the education space next year.
That's awesome.
And the coach development course is probably going to undertake another iteration and change a little bit. So this is, I get the feeling in my heart of hearts that this is going to be the last iteration of this version of the course. So it's really important that if you're keen to get on board, you get on board this intake.
Well, it's only going to get better as well. I'm lucky enough to say I was part of I might have been the very first intake of the coach development course.
So the way it started out, and originally it was just one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had maybe 20 or 30 coaches come through one-on-one. And then I did one big intake with a group, and then you guys were the second group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if we were part of the second group, that was back in 2019. Obviously, it's only gotten better since then. But my experience with the coach development program, it literally changed my life. Like, that sounds very corny, but in terms of the way, because I had no intentions of being a coach at all. Mm-hmm. Part of my job is coming on board as a gym manager. I had to, Thomas was like, hey, you should do this course too. So I sat in on it and I really loved it. And we sat down every week and, you know, we just got to pick Thomas's brain. He had it structured in a way that, he had it structured into, what do you call it? Units, blocks, segments, whatever you want to call it. Modules, that's the one. But man, I took everything I took away from it. Like, yeah, I loved it. I really enjoyed the course. You learned a lot, and it's specific to powerlifting. There's not many places you can go learn about powerlifting, learn about business, learn about the art of coaching, all under the one umbrella. And yeah, like you said, there's over 200 people who've done it, and lots of really good coaches that I know, they've all taken part in it too. And I just think it's an awesome course. Yeah,
I just finished it too. I absolutely loved it. I think we had the last call 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it completely changed things for me as well. Like, it just made it so easy to analyze the 3 lifts, and it was amazing. I look forward to it every week, and now I'm sad that it's over. Yeah, I recommend it to anyone. Yeah,
I mean, it's like I've been involved in powerlifting for longer now, since I was 16. So what am I now? Yeah, 17 years I've been involved in powerlifting.
Half of your life.
Yeah. And, since coaching, I've looked for education. I'm hungry for education. I like learning. And there's nothing out there for powerlifting, or there has been nothing out there for powerlifting until the last few years. And I want to make it clear, like, the course is not all powerlifting, it's really strength training, which is what powerlifting is. Powerlifting is really just the peaking aspect and the specificity aspect. So it's really a strength coaching course, but with a heavy powerlifting flavor. And yeah, it's been born of the fact that there's not much out there. The stuff that is out there is really just like functional anatomy and a few tips. I've been wanting to showcase exactly what we do and how we've gotten the results that we've gotten, which is a complete system. It's a way of thinking. It's a series of applications based on principles. So in Module 1, I present to you the principles. Module 2, I show you how to apply them. And then Module 3, we look at everything again through the very specific lens of powerlifting. And it's extensive. A lot of these courses run for a weekend or, 8 to 12 weeks. This course takes six months. It's a commitment, but it's, guaranteed essentially to make your coaching better.
That's it. Like Thomas said, it creates a framework, creates a system for you to use, and it just makes coaching so much easier. Well, that's what I got out of it anyway. But also, you're actually a very good educator.
Oh, thank you.
Because I thought it was going to be, me and Daniel, we get to work with you, we get to talk shit with you, and then I was like, fuck, is this going to be hard to take Thomas seriously, sitting in front of a camera with him? But you're really good at talking to the masses, educating people. So yeah, the UK tour is going to be sick, the revenge tour. Anything else you want to talk about? Coach development program?
No, not really. No. Just if you've got any questions about it, and you're listening to this, just reach out. I'll leave applications pretty much open right up until the course kicks off, unless spots fill up, and it's pretty close to filling up. But all that happens is then you go on a wait list and you get put in the next intake. So it is important that if you're thinking about it, you get onto me as quick as you can. Sweet.
All right, I've got a few topics that I wanted to talk about today that I wanted to bring up. The first one, I'm going to kick this one off. We're going to get Rochelle on the podcast too. So she's like you said before, she's a nutritionist here at Zero. So we're going to talk about this stuff with her as well. But I wanted to talk today about how to eat healthy on a budget. Mm-hmm. That's the first topic.
What do you guys think?
First of all, we need to establish what the budget is.
Do we need to establish what healthy is?
Yes.
Define what healthy is.
There we go.
I think it's by and large, my background, of course, is in nutrition, and my passion when I was working in nutrition was food systems. I did 2 research education scholarships through uni, and they were both in like the food system and resources and boring stuff like that. That's actually super, super important. Most people don't know where your food comes from. Like when you go to the supermarket and you can buy an apple at any time of the year, that's wrong. It's against nature. When you go to the supermarket, you can buy an orange at any time. It's wrong. It's against nature. Fruit and vegetables are seasonal. And we're just so lucky these days, like you were saying before, access to healthy food. We're lucky these days that we can walk in and get whatever we want. And it's really interesting to see when there's you guys remember when that cyclone happened up north and the bananas got wiped out and they were like $20 a kilo? And I was like, I can't get my bananas. 100 years ago, if you were in a specific spot in the world, you could never get a banana in your life. Now you can go anywhere and basically get anything you want. Like the world has very much changed because of, modern day transport and all of that sort of stuff. But even in the modern times, if you're out where Bridget's parents live, maybe a little bit further afield from there, and you go to the local store to buy a cabbage, it's not like $2. It's probably $10 and it's probably half rotten.
And I was just going to say, when I was a kid, it was just seasonal fruit out there. We couldn't get a mango whenever we wanted. No. You could only get it in the summer. And so I was always excited for the summer fruits.
Yeah. And so you probably grew half your stuff yourself as well. Or most people out there probably grew half their stuff themselves. Anyway, most people living in a built up urban area, like pretty much everyone listening to this is, it's not that expensive to eat quote unquote healthy on a budget. It's a myth that healthy food is expensive. There's definitely elements of truth to it. If you are super poor, if you're a single mother, you've got 3 kids, you're working 2 jobs and you're barely scraping through financially, what's going to be more appealing? Spending $10 on a head of broccoli and a bag of rice and limited meat, because meat's expensive when you look at it like that, or going to a fish and chip shop and buying $10 of fish and chips. Like you can get a lot more calories, a lot more food, a lot more satiation from something like that. So in extreme cases, there is an element of truth to it for sure. But for most people, it's not that hard. It just comes down to either a lack of organization, preparation, and to be honest, just a lack of cooking skills. Like a lot of people shy away from it because they're like, it doesn't taste good. It's like, it tastes fine. You just don't know how to make it taste good. That's reality, right?
100%.
Competitions are the perfect example. People bring their bland ass, fucking dry ass chicken,
burnt chicken rissoles or whatever the hell
burnt
they
weird
were.
ass chicken rissoles, and
Burnt on one side.
learn how to cook.
It's so for me, when I think about how to eat healthy on a budget, like we said before, we got to establish what the budget is. How much can you spend? How much can you allocate towards your groceries? Things like that. But eating healthy for me, I just think it's all about eating in moderation. Are you getting enough? Are you getting enough protein? And are you getting enough micronutrients? Are you getting enough fruit and vegetables a day? Are you eating? Depending on what your goals are as well. Are you eating in a surplus? Are you trying to get stronger? Are you trying to get bigger? Or are you eating in a deficit? It's quite like on paper, it's quite simple. But that's
you need some like basic nutrition literacy as well.
Yeah.
Because what I mean by that is you need to be able to pick up a food and read a label, or have the skill to be able to understand what nutrients a particular food yields. That's going to help you a lot in terms of walking around the supermarket and being like, okay, well, I want X amount of protein. Steak is really expensive. Tuna per 100 grams is maybe less expensive. Chicken breast, again, is maybe less expensive. You know, it takes some nutrition skill and literacy to be able to even work this out. So really step one, you know, is understand what your requirements are. Like James said, you know, understand what your budget is and what eating healthy is to you, and then start to figure out a plan to build around that. And it's not hard to get that nutrition literacy. Like it's really, really, really quite basic stuff. If you start going down rabbit holes of trying to understand nutrition and on a deeper level than like, this is how you read a food label, that's where you'll get confused. Know about how much protein you need, know how to read a food label, know how to look up something like Nutab or use something like MyFitnessPal or Calorie King or whatever. So you can plan it out and it'll make your life so much easier.
Yeah, I know some uni students that, you know, they're living they're on a very tight budget and they eat better than a lot of people. It just comes down to planning as well. So, you know, like you're trying to find a cheap carbohydrate source. You can get rice really cheap. You buy it in bulk, it's cheaper.
Well, I was about to say, that's the other thing, is if you're trying to do everything through a supermarket, you're going to get disappointed.
Yeah.
Like if you want lots of fruit and veg, go to a fruit and vegetable market.
Yeah, go to the weekend market.
Go to the weekend markets, you know, the farmers markets.
Best.
Are cheap. You might have to go a little bit further afield than just down the road, but ultimately it's going to save you money in terms of like you can get a lot more bang for your buck. You can take $30 to a farmer's market and walk away with well over a week's worth of fruit and vegetable quite easily. Same thing, like buy in bulk. If you want to buy bulk rice from the supermarket, you can probably spend half as much and go to like an Indian supermarket, legit, an Asian supermarket, because they'll have bigger bags of things like rice for cheaper. And a lot more variety too. Plus, there's heaps of cool, tasty stuff at places like those where you can make stuff tasty for a bit cheaper too.
Yeah, and like going to the butchery for your meat as well. That's another one. Buying your meat in bulk. Just speaking on the rice, CJ, does your mum have like a big container? Like it's like a
No, it's just a massive sack of rice that's made of that plastic with a mug and a broken handle.
Yep. Yeah.
Nice.
in it.
Yeah, that's a classic. So
That's what I do as well.
just buying everything in bulk. So you can go to a butcher's for your meat. You got to also manage your expectations. If you're on a budget, you're not going to be eating Wagyu steak. You know, you're going to have to settle for the chicken breast and things like that. I don't know what the cheapest cut of meat is.
Man, like bang for buck, something like Super Butcher, you can buy kangaroo mince for like $8 a kilo, which is $4 a kilo cheaper than the supermarkets. And it's essentially straight protein. Like there's very little carbohydrate or fat in it. Super lean, super cheap. If you know how to cook, you can make it tasty. So I live off pretty much kangaroo. So I have kangaroo fillet for breakfast, kangaroo fillet, yeah. And then I have kangaroo mince for lunch and dinner. This is my number one meat source. And I'm a food nerd, so kangaroo is really, really, really environmentally sustainable.
Because are they a pest here in Australia?
Yeah, there's more kangaroos than people. There's about 50 million kangaroos in Australia. A lot of them got wiped out in the last drought.
Let's say
minus one.
49,999 million left after Bridget. R.I.P. Moment of silence, please.
For a headlight.
Touchy subject.
But yeah, they're a pest. But because they're not commercially farmed, they're game meat.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are you doing the farmers a favor, you're doing the environment a favor as well. And they're super lean and super tasty.
Yeah, really good. What's some other protein sources that are very cheap?
Nasty ass fish.
Yeah, fish. You can get a bassa. What's bassa? Is bassa the same as tilapia, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can get bassa. That's very cheap.
Really?
That's a very cheap protein source. What else we got?
It's a cheap for a reason. I mean, chicken breast these days, if you buy in bulk, is cheap as.
You can go to a farmer's market. You get 30 eggs for something ridiculous as well.
Yeah, or off the side of the road. Just drive out towards like Mount Tambourine or Beaudesert. Stop at support some local person with chickens.
Yeah. One of my clients brings me eggs almost every week. Barn-laid eggs. They're the ones that are in the fridge. I think. Did you take them?
I take them every week because they just sit there for ages.
No, he brings in new ones every week. Yeah. And I always feel bad because I'm like, they're still in the fridge. They're good.
Or you could just get your own chickens. I did, and then he ate them.
Really?
Yeah, he killed my chickens.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
So I
Are
had
they fully grown chickens?
Yeah, I had chickens before I got Buddy. So I got Buddy and I already had 4 chickens. One died of natural causes. That one was Whitey. It was white. Then I had Brownie, Blackie, and Dr. Brown Browningtons.
Bro, you sound like a Filipino mum. That's what Filipino families name their dogs.
Yeah. Anyway, Whitey died of natural causes. Blackie was out the back one day, and I thought, I think they're getting along, so I'm just going to see what happens if I let Buddy loose. So I let go of him, and then he got this crazy look in his eye while looking at Blackie. I'm like, Buddy, don't do it. And then he took off around the corner. So I ran after him. I got around the corner, and he had Blackie in his mouth. And I said, Buddy, and he let go, and she was all like mangled and trying to run away. And so I sort of turned around and let her.
You let it happen.
Yeah, you gotta let nature take its course. It's either I snap its neck or Buddy does.
Yeah, fair enough.
He didn't eat them though. So like he just killed them.
Yeah.
And so then there were 2 remaining, Brownie and Dr. Brown Browningtons. I just called her the doctor for short. She was
the doctor.
Yeah, she was the leader of the pecking order. She would like really mess the other ones up. She was a psycho. He just broke into their cage one day somehow and finished them off.
Yeah, wow.
Buddy,
Yeah.
there's a side of you that I don't know.
Hey.
So me being an idiot, when he killed Blackie, I buried her in the backyard. So,
Dig her up.
yeah, he dug her up and rolled in her like one night. Came home from being out one night and let him in the house. I'm like, what is that smell?
Jeez.
No.
So we've got that's another cheap source of protein.
Blackie.
Blackie, RIP Blackie. But also protein powders. You know, you can go to a supplement store and pay $60 for a kilo of protein. But there's also lots of really good wholesalers online.
Yeah, bulk nutrients.
Yeah, bulk nutrients. You used to get another one.
Black Belt.
Yeah, Black Belt.
Black Belt's a local Gold Coast one.
Oh.
Bulk nutrients is crazy business-wise. For many years, they were Australia Post's #1 customer.
Wow.
Like of any industry in Australia, they were Australia Post's #1 customer. That's how big they grew. Isn't that wild?
And it's actually really nice tasting protein.
Yeah, it's good and it's cheap. It's like $30 a kilo.
Yeah. So, and obviously the more you buy, if you want to buy a kilo, you can chip in with if you're at uni, you can chip in with your mates. You can buy 5 kilos worth of protein and come down to something like $15 a kilo or something, 10 kilos of protein. It comes down really cheap. So there are lots of ways where you can get in protein on a budget. Like we said before, tuna's very cheap. Also depends how much protein you want to eat. Obviously, you got to manage your expectations with your budget as well. What else is there?
I mean, it's covering the big things. It's covering the big things. I think ultimately what it comes down to is anything that's really important to you, you'll make work. And so, you know, if you are on a budget, you may have to support your goals, cut out something that's less important to you. It's just about ordering your priorities, you know. You just might. It's funny. Like the easiest way to look at financial priorities is to see everyone with an iPhone, because no matter what, people are just gonna. Your iPhone dies, you just go out and get another one. or you get out and then another latest X phone, whatever phone is your flavor. You don't question the $80 a month.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably get a cheaper phone and a prepaid plan for half the price. But you're like, no, this is so important to me because we use our phones all day, every day. This is important to me. And so it just works. That's just a fixed price. No questions asked. And so once you start looking at other things in your life and you're like, actually, I spend a lot of money on that. I spend a lot of money on going out to eat. I spend a lot of money on whatever. I have 8 streaming services. Maybe you can cut back on some of that stuff to feed towards more of your goals so you can expand your budget a bit and make the eating healthy on the budget piece of the puzzle a little bit easier on yourself.
Nice. So ultimately, it comes down to planning. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
Comes down to
sure.
planning. A little bit of nutritional literacy, like Thomas said. Planning, understanding the foods that you are putting into your body. And that's pretty much it.
Nice.
So that's the first topic. The second topic that I want to talk about is gym etiquette. Do's and don'ts in a gym. Does anyone want to start? What's something you do in the gym? I'll start. You say hi to people when they walk in. You introduce yourself. Powerlifting's a small community. You want to be all inclusive. Especially here at Zero, where we like the team aspect of things. So it's almost a given. You say hi to everyone when you walk in a gym. Understandable. People that come from a commercial gym, when they first start here, they don't realize that's what you do at the start. But soon they understand that everyone talks to each other. You always say hi to people.
That's how you elevate a community, right? You breed that nature into it so that when people who are used to a commercial gym or intimidated or scared or whatever, they feel welcome and they're like, oh, that person made me feel really welcome. The next person that comes in, they pay it forward.
100. Shout out Jack Barnes. He's someone that I notice who does this. When he comes in every single time, he'll say hello to every single person in the gym.
He does, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Those rounds.
Yeah.
Every single time, without a doubt. He'll say hi to me, dap me up, give Bridget a cuddle, see you guys, say hi, and then he'll walk around the whole gym before he puts his stuff down.
Yep. Josiah was always like that as well.
Yeah.
Lots of people are. Like you were. Were. now you have to be. No, this we'd be remiss to not mention a whole bunch of people, but thank you, the Zero community, for being like that.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
He's just someone that stuck out to me because
he definitely does.
It's routine. Like I could be upstairs doing something and he'll go out of his way to come up and, hey bro, like just dap me up and that's it.
Yep.
So always say hello, be friendly, smile, greet. You don't have to smile, but yeah, greet people. That's a big do for me. Are there any other do's?
Well, think about Bridget and CJ. Think about when you guys first came here. What made training in a place like this more enjoyable than a commercial gym in terms of how other people were acting, how the gym operated? That's the kind of gym etiquette that we need to promote, right?
It was the community that was different for me because I used to train at EMF and I'd always go to this little room in the back where I didn't have to talk to anyone or look at anyone, and I'd do my whole workout there alone and then I would leave. Whereas here I came in and I forced myself to say hello to people because I was terrified of coming into a powerlifting gym, and then I noticed people would smile back at me and they'd say hello, and then I'd come in the next time and they'd ask me how I was, and then we'd start a conversation and it just built from there. Yeah.
Yeah, much the same. I was at EMF as well, and I would always go to just the weightlifting section because no one uses the platforms over there, and I just train by myself. And then, coming here, I already knew a few people, I guess, through barbering and whatnot, like Andy and all that, and they're people that always make me, I'm happy to see them. They always make me smile, because I know it's going to be a fun time. And so, it wasn't hard to catch that coming here, that, it's a very happy, positive environment.
Another do support people when they are lifting. That's something that we do really well here. Everyone stops and watches. Everyone's happy to lend a spot or a hand. That's another thing that people do really well here. So do show support. It is an individual pursuit of strength, but it is very much a team sport in that aspect. We all train together. We all support each other. I love that everyone tags a million people in their videos because it's all inclusive. They're all part of the team. Do show support when someone's lifting. We all do it. It's just part of the culture that we've got here. It's a little bit, for some people, it's a bit weird at a commercial gym, stopping and watching people. It's a bit weird, but here it's normal. We all, it's out of support. So that's another big do.
It's really cool to see people like come in and then over 6 months really come out of their shells and be part of that. Yeah, like at first they're like, why is everyone yelling? This is so weird. Calm down, just relax. I'm not used to this. And then, a few months later,
yeah. I think that weird, like, saying like, oh, it's weird. I think it's almost like well, for me at least, it's something you want to do, but you don't know if it's safe to do so. And then you come here and everyone does it.
Yeah.
Because every time people who don't train here, who I know that are outside of Zero, when they see my videos or, see that, they're always like, oh, that's so cool. Like, that is so cool that everyone stops to watch you guys lift. And like, because that would be weird. Yeah. That's just not the etiquette,
So that's like one of my young clients, Jordy Cameron, who's getting really strong, by the way. Did you see the video on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's getting very strong. 8 months ago, he did a 1 rep max at 100 kilos, and now he's doing sets of 6 at 102.5 quite easily.
Weapon.
Yeah, so he's killing it. But he's been training somewhere else as well as coming here, and him, the first thing that he said to his dad was, that place sucks compared to Zero. That's like literally what he said. Because, he comes in here, everyone says hi. When he'd squat, everyone's going, let's go, Jordy. And he said to his dad, he's like, there's no vibe there. They weren't very friendly.
Yeah.
And I thought that's cool. It's like Jordy's a 13, 14-year-old kid, and, he can pick up on the community here. He's part of that community, I should say.
It's hard because you understand it. Like if you're a person who's just trying to get away from everything and go to the gym, at an EMF or Worlds or whatever, you might be really put off by people doing what we do. And that's not to say you can't come to a place like that and be that person. You're more than welcome to sit in the background, not make a peep. You're more than welcome to do that. It's just that once you get amongst it, it's hard not to really want to be amongst it. I even think of myself. Like, I have historically always trained by myself. Even now, I prefer to train by myself. But training by myself when no one's here is way harder than just having people in the room. Even if no one's screaming at me, I like having people in the room now.
Atmosphere.
Which is so weird. I used to actively go to the gym when no one was there or when limited people were there so I could be by myself. And now it's the opposite. If I come here like sometimes I go to Brisbane on Saturday mornings before anyone's there or after everyone's gone, it's like, oh, I wish some people were here. And I don't want to train with them. I shouldn't say I hate training with people. I don't like training with people really. So I don't want to train with people. I don't want them to yell at me necessarily. I enjoy it, but I just want them around. It makes such a difference.
Yeah.
I think I also love seeing people train together and yell at each other. Yeah. It makes me really happy and satisfied in my own gyms to see that happening.
That's what I love too. Like when I see, some of the boys in here put up videos, like Benny Boy, Eli. I just love seeing how they've all become friends through this place.
Yeah, it's wild.
They've got their own little thing like Flannel Fridays and,
sharing lollies.
Yeah, that's cool though. I'm like, they started their own little thing in here.
Do you know they routinely order pizza at the gym?
Yeah.
Yes.
They get it delivered. Yeah.
There's always Domino's boxes.
So I never knew that until after the last comp.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting around, they're like, Thomas, do you want pizza? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, we've got pizza coming. I'm like, oh, thanks, but no thanks.
That's like two of the pizza boys were here yesterday.
Oh, yeah, Seong and
Joel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get pizzas every night here.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy Barnes, he ordered a pizza the other day. It was like $35, and then they gave him a wee tune up. And like, you can get $7 deal, and they get it.
Extra large for $7.
There you go, nutrition on a budget.
On a budget. That's what they said. They go, bro, more calories. I was like, that's cool. Yeah, so they order $7 pizzas here every night, and but yeah,
Seong, next guest on the podcast.
Yeah,
I honestly thought it was a joke because I was here training when we had nationals and I came in after, like late at night, and they're the late night crew. Yeah. And he was walking around with his phone. He's like, oh, you want to jump in on this order? And I thought he was taking the piss, and he showed me. He's like, no.
Yeah.
Right now?
They literally do it almost every single night.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing that pisses me off about the late night crew, put the chair back by the desk.
Oh, it's always like out in the middle of the chair, isn't it? Yeah.
They'll be eating their pizzas sitting on that chair. It's not actually a big concern.
Oh, the computer chair.
Yeah.
Just sit, But
that actually comes under etiquette.
Yes.
Put things back.
Put things back where you found them, for
Yeah.
sure. For
Please,
sure.
if you load up the leg press, please take the plates off. We have not everyone's as strong as you, and we have some older ladies who come in here and train and who want to use the leg press, and it's difficult for them to have to unload all
Well,
of that.
hang on. No. Let's also say, I don't want to follow Sue on the leg press because she's way stronger than me.
Oh my god.
It counts for the older women as well.
She is.
Yeah.
She's so good at
So the older women don't get a hall pass here.
Yeah, actually, who was we were speaking about this the other day about Sue's leg press.
It was me.
Yeah, because I was like, we were watching Lisa's video. She was
Yeah.
leg pressing 5 plates
5
aside.
plates aside.
And I was like, I need to go harder on leg press.
Yeah.
And then CJ said, he brought up Sue. CJ was like,
I was leg pressing like 5 plates, and then she was like, "Oh, can I jump in after you?" And I said, "Yeah." "How many do you want on there?" She goes, "No, leave that."
Leave that. I need to do a single leg warm up set.
I like put my head down and walked away. Yeah.
But yeah, that is put things back. Put the combo racks back, back together. Put the foam rollers back. Don't use chalk at the chalk bowl.
This is really quickly becoming a manager's grievance of the week.
Well, actually, Daniel might kill me for saying this. So I was at Southside yesterday filming. Monday filming. And we had this debate. So that they don't rebuild the combo.
Hang
racks.
on. Just before you finish, we are not taking gym direction from Southside. Continue.
Well, no. So I had this debate with Daniel where I was like, you guys don't put the combo racks together. And he was saying, well, yeah, because that's annoying for the next guy that wants to squat.
Oh, and I knew
was like,
exactly what he'd say. Yeah, but more people, statistically, more people squat more often than bench press. Therefore,
Yeah. And obviously all the members were like, yeah, CJ. Yeah. And everyone jumped on. And I was like, whoa.
that's why I don't go there. It's intimidation.
Yeah. All right, go back to my blue gym. All right. Okay. Yeah.
No, the combo racks have to be put back together.
They look better.
It looks way better.
Yeah.
And it feels nicer. Deadlift bars, put them away too. Don't leave them on the platform.
It does look better.
Yeah.
Daniel was like, nah, it looks nice laid along the back wall. I was like, no, it doesn't. It's all over the place. There's no symmetry. Sorry, I had to vent.
Put things away. Combo racks, put them back together. Chalk, please only chalk in a chalk bowl. Surely every gym owner or person that works in a gym thinks that as well. I've noticed people have been starting to bring chalk over to the dumbbell area.
Yes, to different machines. You find chunks of chalk
This
everywhere.
is so cute. There's people who haven't been running gyms for 10 years think that anything you say is going to matter to the members.
Legit.
It's
It's like whenever something's bad, I go to Brian. He's like, yeah, I'll send out an email. Nothing changes.
Yeah.
The
Use
big
this
boss.
as the snippet.
Yeah, the
right?
big
So they
boss
all
says
see
something.
it.
The big boss says something. Actually, I'll send you a video, CJ, of Hazza.
Everyone's seen this.
With the talc.
Yeah, don't use talc in the gym.
Put 6 bottles of talc on his legs, then walk straight through the gym.
without shaking.
It's the best video though. Like-
so much. It's just snowing off his body.
Snowing, yeah.
We were talking about it yesterday, and I was like, "What did I say to you?" He's like, "Bro, you sprayed me. You gave me such a tune up." And then I watched the video. And I was like, "Yeah, that's warranted."
Oh my gosh. So why are they taking chalk to the dumbbell area?
Because I want to use the dumbbells, which
Because
is
they can't be bothered walking to the chalk bowl and chalking up.
So where do they put the chalk?
on.
Chunks of it on the machines everywhere.
Oh,
Everywhere.
yeah, that's
And then they get forgotten about, and then they get knocked off.
Yeah.
And then some goober stands on it.
stands
Yeah.
on it.
Just me. The sooner you stop carrying, the less old you become every day.
Like some days when I walk in, I'm astonished the gym's clean in the morning. I'm like, this is amazing. How did this happen? It's Bridget, but yeah.
I think the more annoying thing is people that don't put their rubbish in the bin. I understand a little bit of mess here and there, but like some people are just gross.
Yeah.
Like gross.
Like the thing that's always got me is like I planned this for years, like strategically moving the bin around in the toilet, but people just like, I don't know what it is. People just take the empty toilet and go, oh, I don't need this anymore. It looks like they're just like, oh, I don't want this, and chuck it. There's like a bin right there. And
Yeah.
Chuck it wherever. Or like paper towels, pull one out and they all fall out and be like, oh,
People
whatever.
putting used hand towels in the mop bucket. The mop bucket's not a bin. The bin's on the other side.
How good.
Therapy.
This is just a vent now.
Therapy.
I must admit though, like in 10 years, there's been some grotty stuff, but nothing ever like real disgusting
No.
to the point where I'm like, this is a disgusting human being.
Mm.
The weirdest thing is just people leaving undies behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how you walk into a place with undies on and leave a place without undies on and not realize.
Oh, shit.
And same thing with socks, like finding a sock here and there.
Yeah.
Like how did this happen? How did you come in with socks, take them off, then walk out with one on? Where did the other one go? Doesn't make sense.
Oh, man.
Beautiful.
Any more do's? Any more don'ts?
Nah,
We good?
I think we're good. We got fucking cool gyms.
No, we've got it
Yeah.
good. And at this rate that Zero's growing, I reckon we're going to have cleaners next year.
I had cleaners until you guys showed up.
Thomas is like, I've
Yeah.
still got cleaners.
Shout out to Cindy. She was awesome.
She was once a week, eh? On a Sunday?
Yeah, once a week. Then I think I went up to twice a week for a little while there.
Mm.
She was great.
How good.
She'd always be like, Thomas, you forgot to do this. Don't worry, I'll just buy it for you. Oh, thanks, Cindy.
How good. Unless anyone else has got anything else to say, that's pretty much us.
Amazing.
Sweet. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Zero Weakness Podcast.
Amazing. See you.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Zero Podcast. If you want more information, head to our Instagram, Zero_Weakness. Hit the link in the bio for all of our services and any information on upcoming workshops and events. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review so we can have a broader reach and answer more people's questions. Thank you once more.